Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Ooh, welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by SeatGeek. This is episode 439. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate.
That is me. I am he. How are we?
Boom.
Welcome back to the party, everybody. I know you got something spicy cooked up, so what do you got?
Oh, no. I'm not springing the surprise on you until later. In fact, I may not even give you a heads up that I'm going to spring it on you.
It will not be sprung right away.
What I do have to say, though, is I think I'm officially over the Billy Bean look.
Already, huh?
It took, 4 episodes? I'm
That's
over
it.
I'm
Yeah.
done. I want to go back to wearing... I guess I feel... Is this what it feels like to be a kid that goes to private school and you have to wear like a uniform? You don't get to wear what you
Yeah.
want. Like, this is terrible.
Yeah,
That I'm being subjected to this.
that is tough. I've always wondered what that was like, wearing that every day.
You're living it. You're seeing it. You're witnessing it right now. This is what it's like. I have to wear this for another 10 episodes.
Yeah, but what's crazy is about like kids in the uniforms, like they would have to like go to recess and then go back.
Yeah, I'm not trying to play kickball in like a kilt.
The same thing. Yeah.
Not about that.
Kilt.
Right? That's what isn't that what they would wear? Or am I just making that up? Didn't they? Some private schools had to wear kilts. Can somebody confirm that?
I hope someone in the chat went to a private school and can tell us.
I
don't think that's accurate, but I would love for that to be the case.
some private school out there had to wear a kilt. I'm convinced. Speaking of being convinced, Nate, let's just get right into it. Are we convinced that this Shohei thing is wipe our hands clean, off we go on to bigger and better things?
This is the least surprising thing ever to happen this year.
I mean, talk about the most convenient timing. Shohei Ohtani cleared the same day Tucupita Marcano gets hit with the lifetime ban officially. Last episode, we talked about it. That was the rumor. That was the expectation. It was not official. But now we are on the other side of Major League Baseball handing down the lifetime ban. But like I said, talk about the most convenient timing. Hey, this guy's getting hit with a lifetime ban. By the way, Shohei Ohtani's cleared. We're good. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Right? I know. It's so insane. It smacks you in the face sometimes, doesn't it? It really does. It's like the national news when like something happens. You know what I mean? Like remember a couple years ago or last year was like that train that like fell off the rails and like spilled chemicals into the water or whatever.
Yep.
And you're like, what else is going on? There's definitely something else that's occurring off to the side. Same thing, man. It's just a little cover up. It's the timing of I think our PR department across all massive news outlets and sports have this down to a T.
It's my hope that this is our last time really talking about this, regardless what side of the conspiracy that exists out there, regardless what side of it you're on. I'm hoping that this is the last time we talk about it. I'm sure as investigative practices are undertaken, that I'm sure more information, more details are going to come out about this as time passes, as these indie filmmakers are trying to make a name for themselves, and they want to undertake the privilege of running a Shohei doc. They're going to want to get to the bottom of this. They're going to want to run some numbers. They're going to want to, have some interviews. Details are going to come out. By then, I'm sure Major League Baseball is hoping that Shohei is well into his retirement. so they don't have to worry about protecting their golden child anymore.
I don't know, man. It just seems too easy. It just seems too easy.
Ipe pleaded guilty to bank, and I'm reading directly.
Of course he did.
I'm reading directly from the article, so don't shoot the messenger. Ipe pleaded guilty to bank and tax fraud charges, 2 counts that carry a maximum sentence of 33 years. His sentencing is set for October 25th at 2 p.m. Pacific.
Does he go to jail here? Or prison here, I should say? They ship him back? What do you think Japanese prisons are like?
Probably not very good. Actually,
could be better.
I bet you they're better.
I feel like they're better.
Let me do a quick dig here.
Just look up Japanese prisons, see what you see. I think I saw something on Twitter the other day randomly of like Swedish prison.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh,
it looked nicer than like most apartments in New York.
It's like a country club.
Yeah.
It's like you almost want to commit a crime if you live in Sweden.
Yeah.
Let's see. According to this first result I find on Google, you know how that can go sometimes. This could be wrong, but I'm going to read it anyway. The U.S. upholds more humane conditions in Japanese prisons, but Japanese prisoners are safer than American prisoners.
No shanks, no shivs happening in Japan. So
I guess not. I would venture to say it has to be here, right? I mean,
I feel like wherever you do the crime, yeah.
That's where you do the time.
Yeah. That adds up. Hope he goes somewhere nice. You know, when you fall on your sword, I feel like you gotta, get in a good position.
Michael in the chat says, "What are Japanese prisons like? Probably have the worst punishment imaginable. Make you watch Japanese cartoons." Hey, look, man, that's a big thing with people these days. So
that's true. A lot of people are into anime.
I'm not into it. I know a lot of people are. So I don't know where Ipe stands on that, but he might, if for some reason ends up in Japan, he might be destined for 3+ decades worth of anime. I think even if you like anime, that would get real old real quick. So what do we think in terms of Shohei's track forward? He released a statement. He says now, it was decided that Shohei was, quote, a victim of fraud.
Yep.
And then in response, Shohei comes out with a statement, says, now that the investigation has been completed, this full admission of guilt has brought important closure to me and my family. I want to sincerely thank the authorities for finishing their thorough and effective investigation so quickly and uncovering all of the evidence. I don't know, man. It just sounds weird. We were saying this when it happened, when all this news broke, and as more details became made available to the public, it just seemed like Shohei turned awfully quick on a guy that he's with every day, more than his family. And look, I'm on record as saying that I'll say it again. It's worth repeating. I'm of the belief that a man who has a montage on YouTube of him picking up trash at various ballparks could not be guilty of such a heinous crime. With that said, the way in which slide my best friend to the side like he's trash, that whole deal raises some questions, raises some eyebrows.
I just remember the press conference that he did, and afterwards, everyone, for some reason, everyone was like, "You can really see the emotion," and I'm like, "Where?" The guy hasn't shown any emotion towards any of it. So I don't know, man. I think he knew more than what he lets on. I think he has good lawyers. I think they got to Ipe just in time for him to change his story. And I don't know, man. I think it was also fraud against that ESPN reporter that was getting the nitty gritty. She was getting all the deets. She was getting the tea that was needed. And Ipe comes out 24 hours later. He's like, no. That's crazy stuff that I was saying. Here's the real truth. Tough. That could have been a career-making story that you just robbed this lady of. Could have flipped her whole script.
To be fair, I think she still gained from her work.
I don't know. I don't know her name.
It brought a lot of things to light.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I know like 3 writers' names, so that's not saying much for me because that's not an insult to her. I just don't keep track of writers' names all that often, but it at least got this conversation going. I mean, I'm sure that things were happening behind the scenes. Yeah, I'm sure things are happening behind the scenes while this was going on, and even before that article was written. But at least got the conversation amongst the public, amongst the baseball folks out there. At least it got that going. Got the people going.
Ball so hard.
They want to find me.
Yeah.
But this, I think the is funnier the right word? I don't know if funnier is the right word. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. But the funnier takeaway from this whole betting scandal, I mean, we can combine the Shohei and the Tucupita Marcano scandal. Just lump it all into one. I think the funniest thing to come out of all of this news yesterday was the number breakdowns of these guys in this scandal, in this side of the scandal with the Tucupita and the minor leaguers and all that. Did you see some of the numbers that were thrown around?
What they were betting?
Financially? Yeah, so Tucupita was, I would venture to say, the strongest of them all financially in terms of wagers and whatnot. The total amount he bet on baseball, 150 grand. The total amount he bet on Major League Baseball was 87,319. His average amount per bet was 378. Numbers of Major League bets, 231. Bets on Pirate Games, 25. And the percentage of bets he won, 4.3%. Now, I'm not a betting man. I've mentioned that before. But tell me, how does 4.3% stack up?
4.3% of what? And how do you spell his name?
Tucupita. Tucupita.
There we go.
4.3% bets won.
It's not great. It is not great.
I could have made that leap. It doesn't sound good.
The heck, dude? Played 75 games last year
with the Pirates. Trying to make a name for himself. But the bigger question though is with these guys that aren't named Shohei Ohtani, do we think that they're just degenerates like on the side? Or do we think that they look at their careers and go, I'm not going to be making the kind of cash I'm hoping to in this career. Let's revert to something else that I'm presumably a little better at. Turns out they're not good at this betting stuff. Similar to Ipe's admission via text to his bookie.
149 games, my man had a 589 OPS, so he probably saw the writing on the wall. But he only had 35 strikeouts in 220 plate appearances last year. So it's hard to say he was doing things on purpose. You know what I mean? He probably just sucked.
Well, the more laughable numbers that I was alluding to, another name that got caught up in this scandal, or in this report rather, Michael Kelly, who was a pitcher in the Oakland system. Actually, he was another big leaguer. He was with the A's. Bet a total of $99.22.
That's more like it. That's more minor league activity.
You know how much he won?
How much?
$28.30. It cost him a year of his career. An entire year for $28.
Oh man.
Him and his wife, him and his girlfriend.
sitting.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Him and his wife, him and his girlfriend, whoever, going out to Chipotle. Boom. See you in 2026 or whenever this suspension begins and ends. We'll see you in another year.
Small side of chips and guac, not the large, small.
Unbelievable. And look, whether you're talking Shohei, whether you're talking Tucapita, whether you're talking Michael Kelly, the issue here is that this goes beyond guys just being idiots. Because the legislation is out, like the rules put in place to safeguard the league and its players from scandals such as this are well documented. These players are made aware of what they can and can't do when it comes to the gambling, betting, sports betting industry. The fact that they go and do it anyway tells you that they're idiots.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it on the way home today, and I was like, I feel like you could make the argument that there's a little bit more leeway with PEDs, a little bit more gray area with that, because if a guy truly doesn't, which I don't really believe that guys like that you're clueless enough or you're naive enough to take something before checking, unless it's just a very clearly acceptable thing that you're taking.
Yeah.
Anything that you're unsure about, I have a hard time believing that those guys are not smart enough to get that checked ahead of time. However, this stuff is as black and white can be.
I've got a coworker who pitched in AA, got up to AA between the Royals and the D-backs. And he said it's happening a lot more than you think. And there's plenty of guys, and there's a few who are big leaguers now who were doing it in A ball often. I'm not gonna pull names out, but
no, of course not. And I
100% mentioned current big leaguers.
I get it, and I'm not naive to think that it's not going on. That's just you don't have to stretch very far to make a leap like that. I would imagine that's the case, but it goes beyond that for me, which was my original point. It's less about these guys just being a little more on the stupid side, and it's more about them bringing into question the integrity of the sport that's in an industry that's already subject to conspiracy, speculation about things being rigged, things being, illegitimate, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
And they're doing, not that they care, because like if you're just going to blatantly break the rules, I would venture to say you really don't care about something like the integrity of the sport that you're playing. That would be my guess. But if it's happening enough, if these scandals are going to start popping up more and more as sports betting, we've talked about it on here with this in parallel with this Shohei scandal, sports betting is becoming increasingly more common, and it's being consistently or more so promoted by the leagues themselves, advertising, sports books on site, like of these these parks,
with players being like the main promoting star
Right.
in the advertising. Yeah.
So it's like if this type of scandal is going to become more commonplace, then by default, the integrity of the game is going to be placed more into question than it's ever been in this realm of scandals. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, as fans, we're going to keep watching, but I would venture to say for a majority of people, as time passes, as more as these scandals happen, there's probably going to become there's going to be a creeping sense of, is what we're seeing legit, or is there something going on behind the scenes that's leading this game, this series, this season to go a direction that maybe it wouldn't have gone otherwise? I don't know. That's just my guess.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Am I crazy for thinking that this is going to be like the next generation's steroids era? Like, is the sports gambling going to take over to where it becomes so intrusive, so invasive that you can't not talk about it? You can't not look at the game today without looking at it through the lens of the impact of gambling?
As like the way we're digesting player performance. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and as the way as through the lens in which we view results, ways in which we view motivations, whatever it is, fill in the blank. But you can't look at the 90s and, I mean, even early 2000s, I guess, without looking at things through the lens of PEDs.
Yeah.
But with this, as sports betting, gambling becomes more pervasive, maybe we start to wonder, like, how much of this is being driven by the effects of that.
Yeah. I don't know. The same sports stuff is crazy to me. Same team stuff is crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, you're idiotic if you're doing that. Like,
yeah.
What kind of...
Yeah. What was his name? Pikachu?
Bulbasaur. Yeah. Charizard.
Tukapita.
Pikachu. Yep. Pita Chip. Yeah. He didn't do so hot. Yeah. Adios. We'll see ya.
Curious to see what he does next. Just kidding. We'll never find out. We'll never know. We'll never hear that name again. Chupacabra.
Pikachu. We got some breaking news. I'm going to introduce a little bit of a new segment here, a new brief segment, a little game for my dear friend Nate here. I told you I wasn't going to give you a heads up, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up. Going to play a little guess that player.
Oh, I suck at this. All right.
20 questions.
I suck at this. All right.
20
if I get
questions.
That helps. Okay.
20 questions. And look, I'm gonna preface this by saying I thought of the player on my way home today, or it was like at some point during the day. It was the first player that came to mind. There was no rhyme or reason as to why this player. It was just, who's a player that might fit the bill for the first one. I said, okay, this is the guy.
Okay.
20 questions. I've got a little soundbite here, a minute long. So you're gonna have to hustle.
In a minute, I have to get through 20 questions in a
minute.
You
don't have to. You have up to 20 questions if you so choose to use them all. But once this audio drops, this little baseball organ music, once it drops, that's a minute and your time is up. And I guess at that point, if you haven't used all 20, I'll give you a final guess just to take a stab in the dark. But you get 20 questions, you get a minute.
All right.
And we'll see how the first few go. Like if a minute is just embarrassingly short,
I feel like it is.
I maybe
sure.
I'll maybe expand it, but I'm also not going to make it too easy on you. So we're gonna test the waters here. But I wanted
Feel free
to
to join in if you're in the chat.
Yeah, if you're in the chat or if you're listening or watching or whatever, go ahead and play along. This will be a fun little activity here for us. I'm gonna like I said, I think I'm gonna maybe make this a thing moving forward. Just a little drop it in, hit you. Right. Once we get enough of a rhythm with this segment, I'm just gonna hit you with it. I'm gonna hit the music and we're gonna go right into it.
Randomly hit the sirens.
Yeah, well, no, that was just the breaking news of the segment being introduced that I came up with today. But I did want to preface it by saying that you're going off of my knowledge of this player as well as what I can easily access in a timely fashion on Baseball Reference. So if you're asking questions that are outside of that purview,
sure,
I may not be able to help you. So think of me as like a lifeline in that sense.
Okay.
But just know that on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, sometimes those lifelines don't always work. Okay. Are we ready?
Right. Fair.
Have I prefaced enough? Do we?
Yes.
We know what we got. Okay.
Yes.
So again, I've got Baseball Reference on this individual pulled up, but just know that I can help you out with my own knowledge or what I find on here in a somewhat timely fashion, hopefully. So,
okay.
You get a minute and you get up to 20 questions. I'm going to try to keep track of both.
Okay.
In fact, try to keep track yourself if you can.
I will.
Of how many questions you got. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Active or retired?
Retired.
Hall of Fame?
No.
Position player or pitcher?
Position player.
Infielder or outfielder?
Infielder. I didn't put the edited version of this file in, so you're getting more than a minute here, so you're lucky. Perfect. I realized it wasn't 60 seconds. Keep going.
So, retired, not a Hall of Famer, infielder. What was the other question? I don't even remember. Did he play for more than one team?
Yes.
It's not like that narrows it down very much. Did he start his career in the 90s?
Technically, no. No, he did not start his career in the 90s.
Did he start his career in the 80s?
Yes.
Retired, not a Hall of Famer. This is so tough. A minute is crazy.
We can make some changes. We'll make some changes. It's a trial run. It's a trial run.
Yeah.
Also, I can't tell how loud the music is, so I may.
It was loud at first, but it's not that bad. Gold glove or no gold glove?
Gold glove.
Batting title or no batting title?
No batting title.
Started career in the 80s. Not a Hall of Famer. I'm just going to start burning through questions then. Shortstop?
Shortstop.
Did he play for the Indians?
He did.
Did he play for the White Sox?
He did.
I think I got it.
How many questions you had? I wasn't keeping track.
I'm at 12.
Okay.
Is it Omar Vizquel?
It's Omar Vizquel.
Let's go.
Well done. Well done. All right.
Definitely not a minute, but that's okay.
That's not a minute. Like I said, that was on me. I prefaced it. I friggin' talked up this whole segment. Didn't even have the right freaking audio clip queued up. It's fine.
Oh,
It's
how
fine.
long? Did we know how long that was? I don't even know.
It was about halfway over. I think it was a minute, or I think it was a 3-minute clip. So
All right.
a minute and a half, I think.
That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right there. I have the right audio file is right there. That was the one I was supposed to queue up. Queued up the wrong one. What a shame. Well done, though. Well done.
Thanks. I'm normally not good at those. I suck at the ones like you see on Twitter, or like they show in between innings, or like name that player and they show like career stats and the teams they played for and win. I'm terrible at it. I don't know why. The 20 questions help though.
Yeah, those immaculate grid things.
I'm terrible at that too.
My brain goes into
I
like
don't
brain
know why.
paralysis. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what team logo that is. My brain just shuts down. Couldn't
Yeah.
tell you. I don't know how people do that. Shout out to the people that can actually
Doesn't
do those
compute.
successfully.
Well, now we got to run it back. I got to be able to run it back with you. So we may have to rotate.
I don't know. I might just
Put
make
me
this
on the spot over and over.
I mean, I've got the
That's
audio
rude.
queued up over here. I might, like
That's
I said,
fine.
I'm just gonna drop that whenever.
That's totally fine.
I'm so pissed. I didn't have the right file queued up. That would have made it so much more intense. It's fine. It's all right. Let's the All-Star voting open today.
Yeah. Cute.
Hey, by the way, that perfect game in New York is no longer, so
I watched.
won't need to be talking about that. But yeah, let's talk about some All-Star voting. Our way too early All-Star ballots. Let's just run through this the way Major League Baseball.com has this set up.
Let me pull up my ballot here.
Let's start at first base.
Ew. I'm not a fan of what I'm looking at already. Let's see here.
Yeah, the National League. National League's interesting. By the way, did you see that, before we get into this, did you see that nugget from today about how there's only 4 National League teams over 500?
Yeah, what is that about?
What are we doing? And I saw somebody say, well, it's because the American League Central decided to take over baseball. I'm like, I don't know how that's relevant.
Well, it's not.
Not sure how that's connected. Oh, and even worse, I posted that nugget to Facebook. Sorry, I'm going off on a little bit of a rabbit trail here. I posted that to Facebook, and somebody literally said, and I quote, "It's almost as if the teams would benefit from a 9th hitter in the lineup." My brother, the National League has had a DH for
It's been a while.
3 years.
Been a while.
Not sure what sports you're watching, but it's not baseball. But yeah, this All-Star ballot. Let's start at first base. You got your ballot pulled up?
I do.
I think American League's pretty simple. No?
Yeah, Mountcastle.
Wrong. We're going Josh Naylor, no? Are we going Mountcastle? Yeah, you're right. Is Mountcastle, but is he, how many ABs does he have? Because I there for a minute I thought he was platooning, but has he taken over that role?
I don't know. I thought he was hurt a little bit, but him and O'Hearn have been going back and forth there, right?
That's what I'm saying. I thought he was platoon a little bit. How many ABs? Let's see. Josh Naylor.
Still got 10 jacks, dude.
Yeah,
825 OPS.
95% of them are against the Blue Jays, it seems.
Yeah. Oh, Canada.
210.
Yeah, maybe.
210
maybe right.
ABs. No, wow. He actually has more ABs than Josh Naylor. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm going Mountie.
I mean, there's a little bit of a gap between home runs and RBIs, but he's also hitting 60 points higher.
Yeah, and he's got an OPS 14 points higher. So, yeah, I'm taking Mountie. National League?
Meow.
I know my pick.
It's got to be old B Harp, yeah.
Your boy Bryce Harper getting the nod.
OPS, sure. Useful.
Getting the nod. Second base for the American League.
Woof. Woof.
Not good.
Oh, my.
Not even Semien, man. Do you know Semien's rocking a 763 OPS?
Yeah, I still might lean his direction, though.
I mean, yeah.
What about this Massey kid? How many ABs has he had with the Royals?
Let's see here.
Also, Brandon Drury's still in the league?
Yeah, they had to throw somebody on there. 102 ABs, so half the ABs that's the aforementioned first baseman we just looked at.
I guess Semien.
Yeah, I'm taking Semien. National League.
I was curious where they would put Arias. Yeah.
We're going to revisit this. For those listening, for those watching, the plan is to revisit this as we approach the conclusion of the All-Star voting.
Yeah.
Because as we mentioned, this is super early. Although it's not that early. We're only like a month or so out from the All-Star game. So I mean, some of these names are going to have to step it up a notch if they want to overtake these picks. But
give me Ketel Marte. 833 OPS. 12 jacks. Hitting 276. Nolan Gorman's been playing pretty well too, but hitting 230. Where are you going? I'm going Ketel.
I don't know, man. Luis Arias, I feel like, is gonna get it just because he's been in the news a lot more. I got to go with my conscience, and my conscience is telling me Ketel Marte. That's who I got to go with.
There you go.
Third base for the American League.
Sheesh, man.
I know my pick.
It's basically just two guys here. Basically just Jose Ramirez and Devers.
Devers is hitting 16 points higher. He has 3 fewer home runs. Has
basically 100 points higher. OPS.
26 RBIs fewer.
Yeah, I know. The 58 ribs for J-Ram is crazy.
Yeah, that's like otherworldly when you look at the rest of the league. My goodness.
I mean, he's on pace for like 150 RBIs. I know people don't care about that anymore, but I kind of do.
That's... Say what you will about batting average, RBI should never go anywhere, because if you're producing runs as a hitter, that carries weight, that carries value. RBI should never go anywhere. I don't know why that's even a thing.
It's a young man's opinion, you know. It's the new generation that just want to victimize everything.
I don't know, man. I feel like I
discredit. Yeah, I got to go Devers.
But why, though?
The 956 OPS.
Yeah, that's lethal. How about Royce Lewis rocking a 3083 OPS?
Is mine not up to date? I don't think our numbers are up to date. I'm looking at a 2514 OPS for Royce Lewis. To be fair, he's played like 2 games.
Yeah, he's hitting 750. How about that? Good for Royce Lewis.
I see him hitting 600. How are we on the same website with different numbers?
Couldn't tell you. I'm not going to dispute it, though.
Clean it up.
We're living our own truths here. We're living in our own realities. Yeah, I'm going Devers. National League.
Ooh, surprising name here. Surprising name? I think so. And I kind of
Ryan McMahon.
Yeah, give me Ryan McMahon, future Yankee.
Okay, well, not here to speculate that. Shortstop. I mean, is the easiest pick on the board.
Yep. It's
absurd. I mean, my good. Okay, well, maybe not the easiest, but actually, no, it's definitely the easiest.
It's the easiest. Yeah.
What are we talking about here? National League shortstop. For the record, that was Gunnar Henderson. National League shortstop. Pretty easy.
It is?
Are we looking at the same list of shortstops here?
Yeah, the Mook man.
That guy was playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
Catcher.
Shout out Mason Wynn for an 805 OPS. That's pretty surprising.
Yeah, Mason Wynn having a quality season. Having a quality season. Catcher.
Oh, the ageless wonder.
I know, dude. How about it?
It just keeps going. Sally
Perez. It's not just the pop. He's hitting 315.
Yeah.
According to my sheet.
Mine too. So weird.
Can I throw in an honorable mention?
Not Adley?
Connor Wong. I'm not saying over Adley. I'm just saying I want Connor Wong.
It's a good story.
As the resident Sox fan to get his shine.
It's a good story. I will say he's got quite the highlight reel this year, defensively too.
He's hitting 322. I honestly don't even know if he's at the point of being deemed a qualified hitter yet. And I think his OPS has tapered off a little bit. But I think his OPS was in the 900s like a week ago. And he's hitting 322. So I just want to give some love to Connor Wong. But yeah, I might have to go. I think we got to go Sally Perez here.
Mr. Sally.
National League.
This one feels pretty easy too. Unless I'm overlooking some names here. Ooh.
Wilson Contreras, Will Smith. I mean, it's got to be.
William Contreras.
What did I say?
Wilson doesn't look too bad either, but I don't.
What are you talking about? It was 949 OPS.
Yeah, I don't think he's played a lot. I think he was missing some time. Why did I think younger bro was popping off way more than this?
William Contreras hitting 313, 8 bombs, 864 OPS.
Give me Will Smith. Nod to my fantasy team.
3 outfielders.
Well, American League's pretty easy for the first 2 at least. Judge
Soto. I mean, you probably could just go the third one, Kyle Tucker, no?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, goodness. 979 OPS, 19 jacks.
I mean, no more than a week or 2 ago, we're talking about this being like a 3-way race for, well, I mean, throw Gunnar in there, but we're at 3 out of the 4 top MVP candidates.
Between Benintendi being on here.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
It's criminal.
All right. National League.
Wait, let me go back. I got to find Tucker again. There he is. Okay. National League.
It's weird, man. You got a bunch of positional shifts that you got to keep in mind for this year. You're not going to find Mookie in your outfield. So
right.
Take that into account when you're running through your ballot.
Right.
I don't know, man. The NL outfield is looking a little...
It's pretty light, huh? It's
Christian Yelich, light. 309, 905 OPS. Yeah, dude. Yelich has to be one of the top 3.
Yeah, I agree. Revenge season?
Tatis
is in my consideration.
Tatis is in there. He's in the mix.
Who's this Ramos guy?
Jurickson Profar. Can we more so than Tatis? What are we talking about? I completely forgot to show him his love.
I agree. I scrolled right by. That's a no-brainer.
I saw a tweet the other day where it was like Jurickson Profar asked to replace Juan Soto. Jurickson Profar essentially becomes Juan Soto. The guy's played out of his mind this year.
It's been nuts on a 1-year deal. On a 1-year deal.
Who's that third outfielder though?
Goodness, dude. Oh, that's what I was saying. Who's this Ramos guy with the Giants? Does he qualify? He's hitting 304 with a 918 OPS.
Let's see. He's got 90 ABs.
I'm going to say no.
I'm not voting for that. Sorry. I don't know, dude. Is it Tatis? Like, I hate to say, but like, is that just the default number 3? I'm not really seeing much else that's.
Teoscar's got a 774 OPS with 12 jacks.
Tatis has got 10 jacks hitting.
So if anything, it's Teoscar over Tatis. Ugh. This is slim pickings over here in the NL.
Yeah, that's ugly.
What's going on?
I'm
What's
going,
in the
I'm
water?
going Teoscar by default, not because I want to.
Yeah, I agree. Show up, please.
DH. Bro, is David Fry going to get the nod over Yordan Alvarez?
My Lord, bro. Do your thing.
That's what I'm saying, man. Kevin Pillar's got a 967 OPS.
Just need a little more time there. Just need a little more time. Brent Rooker is in the conversation. Pretty stacked.
Stan's got 15 jacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going.
I think I'm going David Fry.
Jordan's on my fantasy team. I'm going David Fry. I don't even care.
I'm going David Fry.
I don't even know how. Well, hold on.
Look at the ABs. Look at the ABs. Look at the ABs.
Yeah, because I mean, I can't say Ramos isn't in, but David Fry is. It's got 111 ABs. What's our threshold here? Like, do you have it at least 100?
What's Brent Rooker's ABs? Because that's my vote. I'm actually taking Brent Rooker over Jordan.
Brent Rooker's got 179. 12 jacks hitting 279.
A 927 OPS compared to an 842 to Jordan. Give me Brent Rooker. Locking it in. Beep.
Even more so than David Fry.
Yeah. Because it's just more ABs. He got like 60 more ABs, doesn't he?
That's fair. Yeah, the Rookman might be the move. And then National League.
I don't even need to look.
Pretty cut and dry here.
Yeah.
Although, I tell you what, man, Marcel's, I think he's maybe cooled off a little bit. I'd have to double check on that, but he's giving Shohei a run for his money.
The 309 is impressive to me for Ozuna.
Truly, yeah.
That's impressive.
That's what jumps out. That's what jumps out to you right away, for sure.
That's legit. Like, good for him. Because it's like, it's not just pop there, but Shohei is Shohei. And what kind of all-star game is he going to have him in it?
That's true.
Cool.
Yep.
Good stuff.
There you have it. There you have it.
Are you submitting? You going to sign in?
I don't need to sign in. That's already good to go.
Dang. Get that MacBook.
Yeah, buddy. Here we go. I'm doing my civic duty as an American citizen, placing my all-star vote. Come back tomorrow. It's in the Constitution. All right, let's switch gears here. I'm glad we got to run through that. I would venture to say there's probably only going to be a handful of names that maybe get switched up there. I feel like some of those races weren't even close. Majority of those races weren't even close, I would say.
Yeah, I concur.
Vote about it. Let's talk about how bad these White Sox have been. Goodness. 12 straight losses entering Wednesday. Where are we at tonight? I think we're recording right during the middle of the game. Oh, they're up 5-1 against the Cubbies. But I guess
tongue, sir. We're here to end streaks.
That may not matter because the Cubs came back, I believe, last night to win the game. So I'm not that concerned. Can I share some numbers here?
Yeah.
Major League ranks for the Chicago White Sox, which, by the way, in case you're wondering, like, oh, Kyle, Nate, can I ask a question? What was the last day that the Chicago White Sox won a game? I have the answer for you. It was May 21st. That's a long time.
That's been a while.
It's been a minute. Major League ranks for the Chicago White Sox entering Wednesday. Runs scored, fewest in all of baseball. Runs allowed, second most in baseball. Walks allowed, second most in baseball. Whip, second worst in baseball. Home runs hit, fewest in baseball.
Oh.
Home runs allowed, most in baseball. Batting average, worst in baseball. On base percentage, worst in baseball. Slugging percentage, worst in baseball. OPS, worst in baseball. Positive news for some White Sox fans, though.
What?
You have some attractive trade pieces that are all but out the door in Luis Robert and Garrett Crochet.
What's that contract look like? Luis Robert is definitely intriguing, but the injuries are an issue. I'm going to look up this contract.
Can I be honest with you for a sec?
Oh, very tradable.
Yeah, extremely tradable. It's the value that you're getting in return that's the most intriguing takeaway from that name.
If he can stay healthy from here to the deadline, that's a huge deal. Set to be a free agent. Oh, there's back-to-back. I can't remember. When you trade somebody, do the club options go with? Like, to all the terms of the contract
I would
stay.
venture to say, I mean, that's baked into the contract.
A club option in 2026 for 20 mil. Same thing in 2027. Unrestricted for Luis Robert. Unrestricted
For Luis Robert,
free
I'm
agent.
taking that.
Unrestricted free agent in 2028 at the age of 30.
Can I be honest for a sec?
Sure.
I
he's a Boris client too.
don't know what it is. Oh, Boris client, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Garrett Crochet, but I don't know if that trade piece is as valuable, in my opinion. Like not as valuable to me. It's not as enticing. There's something about Garrett Crochet that I just can't quite put my finger on. But similar to a Jordan Montgomery, and I may be walking back a take, or I may be
It's possible.
contradicting the take from the offseason, but Jordan Montgomery never really. Did I want him on the Red Sox this offseason? Yes.
Sure did.
But I saw, whether I said it or not, I know how I felt. So don't say that I'm going revisionist history. I know what I felt, and it may sound convenient now, but this is how I actually felt. I didn't feel like Jordan Montgomery that we saw last year was going to be the Jordan Montgomery that you were going to get for the whatever length of contract that he was going to receive.
Yeah.
Did he have a good year last year? Yes. Did he have a good postseason? Yes.
That's what did it. It's
That's
the
what did
recency
it.
bias of the postseason.
Right. But if you look at the rest of his career, he's just like
Just middle of the road.
It's just not sexy.
No.
And for some reason, and I think Garrett Crochet is in certainly a little bit of a different situation, much younger. I mean, he's put up a 309 over his career, but I can't explain it. It's more of a gut thing than anything. There's just something about that where I feel like what he's put up to this point, I just don't know if it's sustainable. And I don't know if it's a situation where he's putting up numbers right now that are going to cause a team to maybe overpay and then lead themselves to maybe regret that decision down the road.
Crochet?
Yeah.
He's
Again,
still in control for 3 more years.
purely a
This
gut
is
thing.
This is his first year as a starter too. So like this is all new uncharted territories. It looks good so far.
Third most strikeouts in baseball. I think he's
It's
got
a
the fifth
big
lowest
ask.
whip.
It's a big ask. And that's the thing is that, like, I think the White Sox hold all their cards there, like in control, dominating. You can ask pretty much whatever you want, especially in a position where, like, rebuild isn't even sufficient, but you need whatever it takes to get this thing flipped around. I just don't know if any team is going to be willing to offer that. We're talking like multiple top 10 prospects with the ceiling that he has, and like the control aspect. He had to give up a lot to get him. I don't see anybody doing that since it is his first year as a starter.
Well, that's the thing. It's like these teams that are going to be interested in him as an addition are kind of in a tight spot because you haven't had a full season of this being extrapolated out to know, like, okay, what is his body's response to this kind of workload, and is this something that we can build on and continue to add to in seasons that come. So, like, if you're gonna need a guy in a pinch or down the stretch, certainly seems like an attractive name to go after in that regard. But it's just, what does this look like after this year? Like, how is his body going to respond physically to this new format, if you will, as a pitcher, as a starter? So that'll be interesting.
Boxing champ Tommy Pham will be in a different uniform at some point, I think, too.
Which, by the way, he got sent to the IL with like a stubbed toe or something. Did you see that?
Could have been the path that he took sliding into Contreras the other day.
No, it wasn't a stubbed toe. It was something with his toe, though, wasn't it? I think that was the corresponding move to bringing Luis Robert back, actually. What was Pham's injury? Oh, it was an ankle sprain. Yeah.
They gotta move, dude. Like,
they're such
I hate to say
cheeks.
it. They've been around a long time, and I understand, but like, you hear Chicago, no one in their right mind thinks White Sox. No one. It's in, like, I don't think it's in a very good part of town. Like, there's multitude of reasons why they're not getting people into that park. Just leave. The Cubs run that city. Just go. They just get a fresh start. What is happening? What happened in Moncada? What? That guy fell off so hard.
Yeah, there was a lot of promise there. A lot of promise.
I think Eloy's freaking hamstrings are held together by duct tape and chicken wire, because that man is destined for IL like once a month.
I was thinking about that, I think, yesterday. That I still stand by that. The Chicago White Sox did not get made fun of enough for that whole, like, hey, Eloy died.
That was
thing.
absurd. That might have been the turn. That might have been when things started to go. That
may have been it. You want to talk about unserious franchises? I think that's when they took on that moniker, because that was a joke. And like I said, I don't think they worried enough for that.
They've ruined Benintendi. That poor guy.
I mean, that poor guy rolls into town sporting a 23, thinking it's going to be a fresh start in a new pair of socks, if you will, pun intended. And it has not worked out. I'm pretty sure he's still on pace for like the worst WAR ever.
It's a complete mess.
May or may not matter to some people, but take that as you will. But it's worth noting. I mean, that's
complete mess.
You got to be pretty bad to rack up that kind of year thus far.
And not to mention they have one of the worst broadcasters ever.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Give me the A's broadcaster over this guy.
Nope. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely. I will take this guy every day of the week, twice on Sundays. What's her name?
Give her some time.
No, it's not
Give her
even.
some
I
time,
promise you, I say this from the bottom of my heart. This is not like a woman versus man thing. She is objectively not good. And I'm sorry, but like if you think that they're Nate, we're gonna, I may have to compile some calls for next episode in case you haven't heard all of them.
I know it's so true.
It's
so
rough.
She used to do like the I don't even know what they call it in baseball. It's like the sideline reporter,
right?
You know what I mean? She used to do that for the Rockies, and my stepdad Rob used to make fun of her because he loves Seinfeld. And I don't know if you ever saw the episode where Jerry goes on a date with the girl that has man hands, and they go to like eat lobster, and it just shows like the manliest hands just cracking open crab legs and lobster tails. It's hilarious. But anyway, he calls her man hands. She used to, the hands, you should just like absorb the microphone when she was doing her sideline stuff. Anywho, Jenny Kavnar is the name. It's yeah.
I'm sorry. Like I really tried. I really tried. I gave her the first call.
Hey, no, you need to support her for the next 10 episodes.
Get out of here. No, I'm supporting the product on the field.
No, it's unconditional.
Nope. That's not how that works.
It's encompassing of the entire franchise. It all falls under one umbrella.
That was not part of the bet. That was not part of the bet. It absolutely was not part of the bet. It was, I had to wear this for every episode until the All-Star break. That was the bet. There was no fine print.
Unapologetic.
There was no fine print.
Unwavering loyalty.
Disagree. Disagree. Wholeheartedly disagree. Yeah, I tried to give her benefit of the doubt. Like, I thought maybe the first call that went viral, I was like, just had a rough day. Like, I'd probably fall asleep halfway through the game if I had to call those games.
Some rough ones, bro.
They've added up, and it's not good.
Yeah,
it is not good. Anyway, I'm not gonna spend time ragging on her. She's living her dream, and that's great. You know who is living their dream, and that's Scott Boras. But at what cost? Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell might be the two worst pitchers in baseball. And Blake Snell isn't even healthy and available to defend his own honor. He's on the IL. Whether it's legitimate or not, who knows? Could be phantom. Who knows? But that groin doesn't look like it's fun. So I'm gonna err on the side of it probably is legitimate. But with the way this year's gone, I don't know, man. It would be understandable if maybe you made the pitch, made the follow through, and you go, ooh, yeah, that groin doesn't. I'm feeling too good.
I do that walking up the stairs, so
I'm gonna have to hit the shelf again.
Yeah.
But Jordan Montgomery, especially, I wanted to mention him or look at him specifically because of his start today. I don't know if you caught that. Dropped him from my fantasy squad. I picked him up just on a, just maybe off chance he decided to turn things around.
Sure.
Dropped him halfway through his start. Atrocious.
I love the mid-start drops. They just seeing that update come across my phone is the best.
Put up minus 17 points. He went 2 innings, gave up 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, and just 1 K.
Sure.
And got hit with the fattest L. Gave up a grand slam to Wilmer Flores, I believe, today, and that was following. I think there was another home run mixed in there as well. So on the year, I think him and Blake Snell. I saw a tweet today that said that between the two, let me pull it up, make sure I got the right one here. Combined have thrown 70 innings. Shout out David Larilla on Twitter. So Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell have combined to throw 70 innings and allow 61 runs so far this season.
Oh my.
70 innings and 61 runs so far this season.
Wait. I don't think Jordan Montgomery's had a scoreless outing yet.
I don't believe so. Let me check. He has not.
Doesn't look like it.
He has not.
Wow.
His last 18 innings, according to D-back stats info on Twitter, his last 18 innings, 31 hits, 20 runs, 20 earned runs, 3 home runs, 9 walks, 12 Ks, a 10 ERA, and a 2.22 whip.
My Lord.
I tweeted it out today. The Boris client holdout needs to be studied. I mean, it was the most predictable thing, but it still needs to be studied. Like, this needs to be addressed. This needs to be talked about. I mean, he
left, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he dropped Boris right away. Once the season. Had he made his first start before?
I don't think he did. I think it was really close after the signing.
Yeah, I think he dropped him
a week
and was like, I refuse to pitch under the name Scott Boras.
Yeah. No
thanks. And for good reason, man. I think this is a prime example, like both of these guys combined. It's just a prime example of the importance of spring training. And we can talk about whether it should be shortened or, what time of the year that it starts, what time of the year it ends, how much time there is between spring training and the actual season. But at the end of the day, this underlines the importance of spring training.
Yeah, especially for pitchers. Yeah.
Because even though Blake and Jordan can have proven to be inconsistent at various times, maybe Snell a little bit more than Montgomery. I think Montgomery's what you see is kind of what you get, but he still had those windows of inconsistency that led to him kind of bouncing around at times. I think even with that in mind, I still don't think that they have these starts. I think you can just about solely attribute what's happening with those two to missing spring training.
It's not just that, man. It's not just like the preparation. It's about like being settled in with your family. You know what I mean? Like moving into a house, getting your family okay, like just getting some type of stability before just being thrown into the deep end of the pool. It's not just like game reps. It's not just live ABs. It's a multitude of things that like they're a human being. But I did pull some stats. Are you wearing your stat hat? Do you have it on right now?
I'm prepared for what you're about to lay out on the table.
Your stat hat. Okay, so far this year, Jordan Montgomery, a 294 expected batting average, ranks bottom 6% in the league. 14.4 K percentage, bottom 8% in the league. The sinker in 2023 averaged 93 miles an hour. This year, down to 91. The sinker was used 42% of the time last year, now down to 33% of the time. The curveball used 22% of the time last year, now up 31%. The whiff percentage on the curveball last year was at 37%. It is now down to 24%. If you ask me, why mess with what we're doing here? I understand moving to a new staff, new pitching coach, new catchers, but like, shouldn't some of the philosophy remain the same based on your success from last year? I don't know. That's just
This isn't some young buck coming up through the system.
Yeah.
He's been around the league for a minute. He knows at this point in his career what's working and what has the potential to continue working as he gets older and deeper in his career. I don't know. I mean, I think, yes, it goes back to missing spring training, but to your point, mixing it up philosophy-wise, pitch selection-wise.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the answer to like hitting is that their version of hitting the panic button? Like, we didn't get the preparation we're looking for, so let's try to mix up our game plan to accommodate that. I don't know, but it just seems like for him being in the league as long as he has, maybe you fall back to what you know as you continue to get your feet under you with the shortened spring.
Like, get that. Why are we using the curveball so much? Using the curveball as often as you're using your sinker? That math don't math for me.
speaking of math, not mathin', how do we feel about the Miami Marlins eating $24.6 million?
What is that
Avisail.
contract, first of all?
Avisail Garcia.
Whose idea was that?
Let me pull that up real quick. 53 mil, 4-year deal. Just before the lockout.
What part of his game brought that idea to the table? I could be wrong, but let me see here. He's 33. Best season looks like 2021. No, you go back to 2017. He was an all-star. 885 OPS. He's just an average guy. He's a career average 100 OPS plus. Career 733 OPS. Averages 21 home runs a year. I don't see it.
Yeah, literally 100 on the dot
here?
OPS plus.
Where was the... It's just a dumb move.
I mean, he signed before the lockout, as I mentioned. In his 2021 season, he put up 29 bombs, 86
So that was a Milwaukee deal. The Marlins traded for him. Is that what you're telling me? Because he was in Milwaukee in 2020 and 2021.
No, but he would have signed as I think he signed as a free agent
In 2022 with Miami.
Yeah, he was a free agent. Yeah, before the 2022 season. Yeah.
What a horrendous lack of scouting.
He's been on the IL multiple times with the Marlins. Just not a good story there.
It was a terrible contract.
Not a good stay in Miami. Yeah, really not much more to add there. Just wanted to note yet another team deciding it's better off to just eat the contracts and move along. You know, I'm okay with that. I think I like that a little more these days.
Let's just hand up accountability on that team. And that I can appreciate some hand up accountability.
I appreciate that, Miami. Like, just eat the money. You got plenty of it. All of these teams, you got plenty of it, whether or not you want to admit it or not. You got plenty of it. So just eat it and move on. Let go of the dead weight.
That's it.
A much better approach. It's much more of an enjoyable product for your fans. Lastly here, weekend series to watch. Originally, I wasn't even going to bother coming up with a weekend series to watch because the only series I want to watch is the one you're going to be covering because talk about a showdown.
Yeah.
But we remembered that the London series is in fact this weekend. I just don't feel like it's being promoted enough. Maybe it is, and maybe it's kind of slipped under my nose. I don't know. The only coverage I've seen, or the only news I should say that came out of that whole series preview and promotion today was that, did you see that? Like, it was like a Hawaiian shirt or like a collared shirt that had both teams' logos on it.
No.
As something that you could buy in the team store. And I'm like, we're already off to a horrendous start with this.
It seems like a British thing.
Somebody encapsulated that perfectly. They posted the picture of that shirt in the team store and they said, this is why we started the American Revolution.
That's right. That, and because they have beans and toast for breakfast.
I mean, who does that?
Yeah. Baked beans.
Insane. But yeah, that series is a 2-gamer. Game 1 being on this Saturday at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. That's Ranger Suarez and Sean Manaea going up against one another. That'll be on Fox. Game 2 will be on ESPN on Sunday. They're actually switching home teams for the series. I think they usually do that for the series. No, don't they?
I think so.
I think they give each team a run at it. So New York, the Mets will be the home team on Saturday. The Phillies will be the home team on Sunday. So it'll be the Mets at the Phillies. 10 a.m. Sunday on ESPN. Jose Quintana versus Taijuan Walker.
I'm good.
Saturday's probably you're good.
Definitely not watching that Sunday.
If you want to tune in and then just say you caught some of the London series, check out Saturday's game.
Do it on Saturday. The one we've all been waiting for. The LA Dodgers are going to New York, face the Yankees. Series starts Friday. Just a heads up, that is an Apple TV game. So do what you need to do. Set up your trial. Steal people's logins. Actually, I don't even think you can do that, huh? 'Cause it's like the Apple ID thing.
I think if you, let me see. I think if you Google, just search, if you need a trial, I may have mentioned this before. If you need a trial, go to MLB.com and just do a little digging. You'll see it on there. They're giving away like 2-month trials for Apple TV. So like if you need to catch this game, or maybe your team's going to be on Apple TV in the coming weeks, dig around on there. If you haven't done the trial already, it should be there for you.
Yeah. Yep. Game 1, you got Yamamoto going against Poteet. This is a spot start for the Yanks just because they lost Clark Schmidt last week. So Poteet is, I think, only made 3 starts this year, 2 starts maybe. But that's game 1 on Friday. Saturday, 4:30 Pacific. You got Gavin Stone going against Nasty Nestor. That's on Fox. And then Sunday, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's definitely Sunday Night Baseball, yeah? Well, it's on ESPN, so I'm going to say yes. This is the one to watch. Sunday is definitely the one to watch. Catch your Sunday Night Baseball. It's Glasnow versus Heel. Yeah. 2 very much dominant pitchers at the moment. It's just gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be good. The amount of stars on one field, like Freddie, Mookie, Ohtani, Judge, Soto, all hanging out, all playing against each other. This is big time. This is a good series.
I love it. Can't wait.
Yeah. The wife and fam want to go to the lake on Saturday, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can make it.
Is that the first time I've heard you say your wife? That might be the first time I've heard you say that. How about it?
It feels pretty cool to say. I'll say that.
How about it? Clap it up for Nate.
No, we'll be back in time for that. We're good. We can go to the lake.
Clap it up for Nate.
I'll allow it.
Married man.
Big chirps.
Hey, shout out Christopher on the chat. Says, hey guys, how's it going, Christopher?
Christopher with a K. That's
literally as I post that, he says, acknowledge me while we're acknowledging you. Welcome to the 308, Christopher.
That's
you're now forever a part of history. How about it? Hey, sister-in-law hit us with the trivia question, the weekly trivia question.
I was wondering if we were due. What do we got? I'm on fire today.
Out of curiosity, do you know what year the first MLB World Series was?
No, dude. MLB World Series.
1901.
No.
Was it not?
No, I don't think the first World Series came around until, I want to say, the teens.
1903, dude. It was. Really? I was only 2 years off.
Really? Good for you. You cheated. Cheating for her.
Hey, she's the one that reaches out to me. I've called her on it. I said, you shouldn't. To be fair, my success rate before I started bringing these questions onto the podcast, when I was just doing it like by myself,
pretty low.
I was crushing it.
Really?
I was crushing it. Yeah. And I called her on it. I was like, what are you doing? You can't be hitting it. She's like, well, you're the go-to baseball person that I know that is going to know these things. I'm like, it's not how trivia works. And she goes, it's fine. So I just like, whatever.
Wild that she can have her phone during trivia. Where is this trivia being done?
Prison? I don't know.
We need to tighten up. Whoa, dude. Japanese or American?
I don't know. I don't know which prison allows phones for weekly trivia. Couldn't tell you.
Dang, dude, we need to tighten up the standards at whatever trivia.
Do I take a stance? Do I just say like I'm not going to answer your trivia anymore? Because
absolutely not. This is great content.
I mean, I just went into a whole spiel earlier about Shohei and this whole gambling thing about the integrity of the game, and
that's fair.
We're compromising some integrity here.
I hear you. It's a trivia game though, but I'm questioning if she's texting you on some. We gotta believe she's looking up answers on others.
You said it, not me.
I think that's very much in the realm of possibilities.
I'm gonna clear myself of those accusations.
Well, it's family, so you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, we'll see. But again, I was only 2 years off, and I know that really doesn't matter in trivia, but for my
out of the amount of years, I think that's pretty good.
For my peace of mind, yeah, I can lay my head down at night knowing that I was pretty close.
That's all that matters.
That's all we got. That was a chock-packed episode.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Let's have a good weekend, everybody. Let's ignore work as much as we can the next few days and have a good weekend. All right? Simple as that. While you're at it, don't go chasing curveballs.
We love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.